First of all, we will take the simple 11th revision. Now in this revision, we will take the units of concentrations. Now there are many units which are used for concentration. Before that, first of all, what is meant by concentration? So concentration means whenever any particular amount of solute is dissolved in a solvent, then we are getting a perfect concentrated solution. Before starting it, first of all, I'll explain the components of solution. So there are two components in a solution. First is solute, another is solvent. Again, first is a solute, another is a solvent. Solute means when the amount of component is less, then this component is known as solute, and the amount of component in a solution is more, then it is solvent. When solute is less amount containing component in a solution, when solvent has a more proportion in a solution. Now there are main two units. First is based on temperature. Second is independent from temperature. So first is molarity. Second is normality. Third is percentage W by V, percentage V by V. Fourth is ppm, that is parts per million. So all these components have volume base, and we know that as temperature varies, then volume will change. So at that time, all the components, means all the units, will be changed. Okay. So first of all, solution. Solution means whenever a homogeneous mixture is formed. Homogeneous means whenever two components are mixed together, at that time both cannot be separated by naked eye, then this type of mixture is known as homogeneous mixture. So generally in a solution there are two components. First is a solute, another is a solvent. Now amount of component is more, then such component is known as solvent, and if the amount of component is less, then this component is known as a solute. Now generally solution has many units for the units of the concentration. First is based on temperature, another is independent from temperature. In based on temperature, generally all the units are based on volume. Means in a particular amount of liquid, number of moles or mass is dissolved, then these units are formed. First is the molarity, second is the normality, third is percentage W by V, fourth is percentage V by V, and next is ppm, parts per million, and this is volume based. Another side, independent from temperature, and the units are, first is molarity, Next is mole fraction, percentage W by W, and ppm. And this ppm is also parts per million, but it is mass based. See, these units are independent from temperature, and the reason for it is all are mass based. Means in particular mass of solvent or solution, particular amount is dissolved, then these units are created. Okay, so these are the units. Now one by one we will study. Molarity. In 1 liter of solution dissolved, number of moles of solute is known as molarity. So if we take simple formula, then denominator is volume of solution in liter and the numerator is number of moles of solute. Generally, to make a definition in a formula, denominator is taken unit. Again, to make a definition in a formula, denominator is taken unit. Unit means 1. So if we take volume of solution 1 liter, at that time the number of moles of solute is known as molarity. Means in 1 liter solution, if 3 moles of solute is dissolved, then 3 divided by 1, so molarity will be 3. Similarly, 2 moles are dissolved in 1 liter, then 2 by 1, that will be 2. So number of moles of solute per 1 liter of solution is known as molarity. Now we know that number of moles means mass upon molecular mass. So another formula is formed, and this one is the basic formula: mass of solute divided by molecular mass of solute. So this division is known as number of moles, and in numerator volume of solution in liter is present. So this one is the most basic formula. So if we take 3 molar HCl, so meaning of it, we can say in 1 liter of solution 3 moles of HCl are dissolved. Means in 1 liter how many number of moles are dissolved, that is our molarity. So molarity unit is over. Now anything? બોલી જજો ભાઈ, કોઈને કઈ બી હોય તો. Okay, done. Now, next unit is normality. Normality means in 1 liter of solution dissolved, number of gram equivalent is known as normality. Normality means in 1 liter of solution dissolved number of gram equivalent is known as normality. So there is only minor difference between the formula of normality and molarity. See, Normality means mass of solute divided by equivalent mass of solute into volume of solution in liter, mass is generally in gram. Now, a question will arise in your mind that what is meant by this equivalent mass? So this equivalent mass is a molecular mass divided by n factor, and this n factor will be either acidity or basicity or change in oxidation number. Now we will consider all the term one by one. First we are taking generally basicity is of an acid, and the definition of it is simply, if we take HCl, hydrochloric acid, this hydrochloric acid will release one H plus on ionization. Means whenever HCl is dissolved in water, we will get two ions, H plus and Cl minus. Okay, so this HCl will give one H plus, means 1 mole of HCl will be ionized to give 1 mole of H plus, then its basicity is 1, and that is our N factor. Okay, so simply if we take a definition of basicity, then we can say when 1 mole of an acid is dissolved in water, then number of moles of H plus, that is proton, produced in aqueous solution is known as basicity of an acid. Means when 1 mole of an acid is dissolved in water, then how many number of moles of H plus, that is proton, are produced, and this number is known as basicity, and that is N factor. So N factor is a general word for acidity, basicity and change in oxidation number. Okay, now we will take some examples with formula and with concept. See, if we take HCl, HNO3, then HCOOH, then CH3COOH. So these acids have N factor 1. Next is H2SO4, H2C2O4, its name is oxalic acid, then carbonic acid. Okay, all have N factor 2. Now here we are taking 3 different examples. First is H3PO2, H3PO3 and H3PO4. This one is hypophosphorus acid. This one is orthophosphorus acid. And this one is phosphoric acid. Again, hypophosphorus acid, orthophosphorus acid and phosphoric acid. Another name of this H3PO2 means hypophosphorus acid is phosphinic acid, and this one is phosphonic acid. Okay, remember this. In the formula of H3PO2, there will be only one hydrogen which is attached with oxygen, so that this hydrogen will be released as H plus. So its basicity is 1. So physically there are 3 hydrogen atoms, but here there will be only one hydrogen will be released as H plus, and the reason for it is this OH bond is a polar bond. So whenever water is in contact with this 1 mole of H3PO2, only 1 mole of H plus will be released, because this hydrogen will be solvated, means hydrated. This pH bond is non-polar bond. So these hydrogen atoms cannot be released as H plus. Next is H3PO3. So in this H3PO3 there will be 2 OH, and H3PO4 there will be 3 OH. See again, all the topics are from 11th standard. Okay, to study the 12th standard topics, this will be most important. Next, so only one is completed, that is basicity of an acid. Now we are taking acidity of a base. Earlier we have studied that when 1 mole of an acid is dissolved in water, at that time how many number of moles of H plus are formed. This number is known as basicity of an acid. Similarly, acidity of a base means when 1 mole of a base is dissolved in water, then produced number of moles of OH minus is called acidity of a base. So if we take different bases, see, now here we are taking base and then N factor. See, NaOH, KOH, NH4OH. These substances produce only one OH minus on being dissolved in water. Similarly, CaOH twice, CuOH twice, BaOH twice. These substances produce 2 OH minus when 1 mole of these substances are dissolved in water. Similarly, AlOH thrice. Now we can see easily there will be 3 OH minus will be produced. Now you have to remember the remaining 2 examples. See, number 1 is Na2CO3, next is K2CO3. On being dissolved in water, they will produce 2 OH minus. Similarly, NaHCO3, this will produce 1 OH minus. Now we are taking how 1 mole of Na2CO3 will produce 2 OH minus. See, when Na2CO3 is dissolved in water, see, generally Na2CO3 is a basic salt. So on ionization, this will give two Na plus and 1 CO3 2 minus. So this CO3 2 minus ion can react with water. Now we know that water produces two ions, H plus and OH minus. Now the charge of carbonate ion is 2 minus, so 2 H plus will be needed. So here we will get H2CO3 as an unionized molecule, and it will produce 2 OH minus. See again, H2O contains two ions, H plus and OH minus. So 2 H2O will give 2H plus 2OH minus. These 2H plus ions will react with CO3 2 minus to give H2CO3, and 2OH minus will be free into the aqueous solution. So basically, according to definition, we can say that when 1 mole of Na2CO3 is dissolved in water, then finally we will get 2 OH minus. Now similarly, NaHCO3 will give 1 OH minus. So this is the simple calculation of acidity of a base. So how many number of moles of OH minus ions are formed on being dissolved of 1 mole of base. Okay. Next is change in oxidation number. So N factor can be calculated for the redox changes also. First example is KMnO4. Second is K2Cr2O7. Now, in acidic media, the negative ion of KMnO4 is MnO4 1 minus, that is a permanganate ion. It is converted into Mn2 plus in acidic media. So if we calculate the oxidation number of Mn, it is plus 7. Another side, oxidation number of Mn in Mn2 plus ion is plus 2 according to its charge. So there is a change in oxidation number, and the overall change is 5. So N factor for this redox change will be 5. Similarly, in basic media, MnO4 1 minus ion is converted into MnO2. So 1 Mn has oxidation number plus 7, another side it is plus 4. Okay, so seven to 4. So change in oxidation number is 3. So this N factor will be 3. Similarly, third one, in neutral medium, MnO4 1 minus ion, that is permanganate ion, is converted into MnO4 2 minus ion, and this will be manganate ion. Here oxidation number of Mn in MnO4 1 minus will be plus 7. Here will be plus 6. So there is a change in oxidation number will be 1. So the N factor will be 1. So you have to remember this N factor. Now, if we take K2Cr2O7, then the negative ion of this compound will be dichromate ion, and generally it is converted into Cr3 plus ion. Now the oxidation number of Cr2O7 2 minus is plus 6, another side plus 3. Now 1 Cr has oxidation number plus 6. In 1 mole of dichromate ion there will be 2 Cr. So here we have to multiply it by 2. So total oxidation number of Cr will be 12. Another side multiplied by 2, because from 1 mole of Cr2O7 2 minus ion we will get 2 Cr3 plus, and the change will be 6. Okay, next is 12 to 6. Change in oxidation number is 6, so the N factor will be 6. So students, you have to remember only the n factor. Here I have mentioned that how this number is produced. Okay. Percentage fraction. Number one is percentage W by V. So first of all, I want to say that W is at numerator and V is at volume. So generally, the term which is at denominator, we will take a unit, but your percentage, generally percentage means per cent, cent for century, 100. So we will take 100 ml solution. So in 100 ml of solution, dissolve. At numerator, W term is taken, so that mass of solute is called percentage W by V. So simple formula will be mass of solute, which is in gram, divided by volume of solution, which is in ml, and it is multiplied by 100 because percentage is calculated based on 100, so it is multiplied by 100. Next thing is the explanation of one example. Suppose I say 10% W by V NaCl. So it means in 100 ml of solution, जितने भी परसेंटेज दिए हैं उतना W, W means mass, and that of NaCl. So 10 gram of NaCl is dissolved. Second is percentage W by W. Here both of the terms are W. W means weight, mass. So definition will be in 100 ml. Here in percentage W by W, in 100 gram of solution dissolved, mass of solute is called percentage W by W. So if we take one example of it, if I say 25% W by W KCl, then it means in 100 gram of solution. If we take aqueous solution, then generally KCl will be dissolved in water. So in 100 gram of solution, 25 gram of KCl is dissolved. See, this 100 gram of solution contains both of the terms, solute and solvent. Means mass of solution is a sum of masses of solute and solvent. See, here mass of solution is 100, mass of solute is 25. So the mass of solvent will be subsection of mass of solution and that of solute. So that mass of solvent will be 100 minus 25. So 75 gram. Means if we take 10% W by W of KCl, then in 100 gram of solution, 10 gram of KCl is dissolved. But if we say the another conclusion of it, then 10%, then 100 minus 10, this will be 90. So in 90 gram of solvent, 10 gram of KCl is dissolved. If we take 20% W by W KCl, then it will be 80 gram of solvent and 20 gram of solute. Next is number 3, percentage V by V in 100 ml of solution dissolved. Here we can take the word mixed. Volume of solute in milliliter is known as percentage V by V. So the formula of percentage V by V will be volume of solute. So the formula of percentage V by V will be volume of solute in ml divided by volume of solution. Both are in ml, and it is multiplied by 100. And here we can say, if we take 12% V by V petrol in kerosene, then the conclusion will be in 100 ml of solution, 12 ml of petrol is mixed. But based on solute and solvent like W by W, here we can say that subsection of 112. So it will be 88 ml of, in kerosene means solvent is a kerosene. So 88 ml of kerosene and 12 ml of petrol. Okay, so these are the conclusions: percentage W by V, percentage W by W, and percentage V by V. Next unit is molarity. So molarity means in 1000 gram of solvent dissolved, mass of solute in 1000 gram of solvent dissolved, number of moles of solute is known as molarity. So simply, formula of molarity is number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent, and 1000 gram, that is 1 kg. So the simple unit of molarity will be mole per kilogram. If we evaluate the number of moles of solute, that will be mass upon molecular mass. So mass of solute in gram, molecular mass of solute, and mass of solvent. And if we take in gram, then we have to multiply with 1000. Okay, so this one is the basic formula of molarity. And now we are taking one example. If I say 2.5 molar KCl, then it means in 1000 gram, and this is an aqueous solution, so in 1000 gram of water, otherwise we can say solvent, 2.5 moles of KCl is dissolved, are dissolved. ओके, तो हमने एक फर्स्ट पार्ट हमने आज पूरा कंप्लीट कर दिया. फर्स्ट मोलारिटी, नॉर्मालिटी, देन 8 परसेंटेज फ्रैक्शंस, देन मोलारिटी, और आज का लास्ट है मोल फ्रैक्शन. See, mole fraction, generally fraction is taken when this is a one solution and how much part of solute is there. Mole fraction के लिए पहले हम देखेंगे, suppose we are taking one solution and solution is denoted as a unit 1. then how much part of solute is occupied in a solution, and this part is known as mole fraction of solute. And how much part of solvent is occupied in a solution, then it is known as mole fraction of solvent. So mole fraction of solute, here number of moles of solute divided by total moles of solute and solvent. Generally here we are taking 1/4 solvent and 2/4 solute. Okay, so if we take mole fraction of solvent, then formula will be N1 divided by N1 plus N2. Here we can say N1 is number of moles of solvent, and that is mass upon molecular mass, and N2 is number of moles of solute, and that will be mass upon molecular mass. Here mass of solvent divided by molecular mass of solvent, and here also mass of solute divided by molecular mass of solute. And here remember this important term, that is X of solute and X of solvent. This sum will be N2 upon N1 plus N2 and N1 upon N1 plus N2. So N1 plus N2 divided by N1 plus N2. अब देखो फॉर्मूला का सम 1 हो रहा है, दैट मींस किसी भी इस फॉर्मूला से कोई भी वैल्यूज हम फाइंड आउट करेंगे तो उनका सम 1 ही होगा. एंड हियर मैंने पहले भी बताया कि solution is taken generally 1, and how much part of solute is there and how much part of solvent is there, that is our mole fraction. Okay, तो स्टूडेंट्स आज के लिए यहीं तक. पहले ये पूरा कंप्लीट करो, लर्न करो, नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में हम बाकी का देखेंगे.